Welcome to Tzu Chi This Week. I'm Anita Lee. It's good to have you with us. Coming up, Tzu Chi volunteers in Indonesia distribute surgical masks to tackle the problem of poor air quality confronted by local residents. In Tamsui, Taiwan, Tzu Chi volunteers and residents get creative during early mid-autumn celebrations. A 70-year-old recycling volunteer in Malaysia does her part to safeguard the planet. Every year, due to illegal slash-and-burn farming methods used by corporations and farmers, Pekanbaru of Riau in Indonesia faces serious air pollution. To tackle the problem, the local government not only sends out water bombers to extinguish the fires, but also reminds the public to wear surgical masks when going outdoors. And to help make that happen, dozens of local Tzu Chi volunteers mobilized to hand out surgical masks along the streets of Pekanbaru.
From a bird's eye view of Pekanbaru, one can see that the city is covered in smog. Due to slash-and-burn farming and illegal forest clearing by farmers and corporations, every year Pekanbaru struggles to deal with the smog problem. The local government decided to send out water bombers to stop the fires and ashes from spreading.
We're working with various teams, especially the Indonesian Armed Forces, to solve this problem. We want to make sure those irresponsible arsonists don't have the chance to burn down more forest.
The government of Pekanbaru also reminded everyone to wear a surgical mask to prevent respiratory distress. However, there are still many who find themselves exposed to the smog without realizing the harm it carries.
By handing out surgical masks, we hope to remind them that smog is harmful and that it is important to wear a surgical mask when going outdoors.
Altogether, local Tzu Chi volunteers prepare more than 2,000 surgical masks to hand out to the public to encourage them to take better care of themselves.
The first training session for Dharma translation volunteers this year was recently held at the Hualien Hall in Taiwan. Some 190 volunteers came together to discuss ways to propagate the Dharma within the Lotus Sutra to people in their communities. At the Hualien Hall, Dharma translation volunteers are learning how to pass on the Dharma within the Lotus Sutra. Besides demonstrating various techniques, the instructor also shares his insight on taking in the Dharma.
As I attended the study sessions, I learned two things. If we take the Dharma to heart, our wisdom and that of the masters will bond together. If we can put it to practice, the master's wisdom shall continue to propagate.
This year, the theme of the study sessions across communities is centered on the Lotus Sutra. The job of these volunteers is to help propagate the master's teaching to all corners.
I hope that our classmates in prisons can make the best of their time to learn and cultivate themselves, so they will be free of ignorance and bad behavior.
That can only be achieved through practicing the Dharma in our daily life and spiritual cultivation, which is exactly the purpose of the study sessions.
We have come together to learn to use different analogies and examples to help explain the Dharma within the sutra, so that people may understand that the Master is trying to pass on the teachings of the Buddha.
By immersing themselves in the Dharma for 3 days and 2 nights, these volunteers return home ready to empower their communities and inspire more people to join their ranks. Tzu Chi volunteers in the Philippines continue to distribute rice to impoverished families in Metro Manila. In San Juan City, as volunteers' efforts to feed the hungry has led to a decrease in crime, the mayor made it a point to attend a rice distribution to express her gratitude.
Back in March, a fire broke out in Binondo, and Tzu Chi volunteers arrived on the scene to deliver aid supplies. This time, Tzu Chi volunteers have returned to distribute rice to more than 1,200 impoverished recipients. One of the aid recipients, Bernabo, expressed her gratitude to the volunteers, showing them the blanket and bowls she received last time. She also shared the rice she received with other people in need.
She helps me often and shares her supplies with me.
I believe whether we receive help from God or kind people, we must share it with others, passing on the blessings.
Another aid recipient is a grandmother whose son left home after his wife died. She does laundry for a living and single-handedly raises 2 grandchildren. She was worried about not having money to buy rice before she was given this 20-kilogram bag of rice.
On time.
I really appreciate Tzu Chi for giving us rice because I only have 40 pesos left to buy food.
Tzu Chi's rice distribution has not only helped people like Maria, it has also meant a decrease in crime in cities like San Juan. Therefore, the mayor of San Juan made it a point to attend this most recent rice distribution.
I found that impoverished people who receive rice help each other, and our crime rate has also decreased substantially.
Crime index we have the lowest.
Filipinos must have white rice on dinner table. So this rice distribution really helped a lot of people.
Here in the Philippines, Tzu Chi volunteers have once again created an atmosphere of warmth and community for those in need.
To help bring communities together and strengthen family bonds, the Tamsui Tzu Chi Retreat has organized a pomelo carving contest as an early welcome to Mid-Autumn Festival. Let's take a look at some of the ways you can get creative with your pomelos.
Celebrating the Mid-Autumn Festival early, the Tamsui Tzu Chi Retreat has invited the community to participate in a pomelo carving contest. While some children adore cartoon characters, others have a thing for animals. This family event has helped bring parents closer to their children.
I am so grateful for this wonderful event that you have organized. My whole family had such a blast. Thank you.
I think today was a wonderful opportunity for me and my child to bond together so that we may get along better in the future.
Huang Hui-mei has brought along her daughter for the event. She says she can always feel the love from her Tzu Chi family.
Every time after we participate in a Tzu Chi event, we are filled with joy and peace and are less likely to fight with each other. This has helped bring us closer together.
At the end of the event, everyone shows off their hard labor and welcomes seeing the holiday with a joyful heart.
Twelve-year-old Christopher Young from the United States decided to become a vegetarian after he saw a live fish being killed at a supermarket when he was 4 years old. Devastated by what he saw, the young boy decided to become a vegetarian as a way to safeguard all sentient beings.
My name is Christopher Yang. I'm now 12 years old and I'm going into 8th grade. I wanted to graduate from college as soon as I can, so I started homeschooling this summer. I like programming because it's different from the regular subjects that I do, and I usually program educational ones so I can help people. My vocabulary a couple of years ago was pretty behind, so I wanted to make an app that can help myself and others to practice vocabulary that they need. My dad has a garden, and sometimes we have different vegetables depending on the season.
Before, we always thought that it was okay to eat meat or fish. We never imagined that we would end up being vegetarians. When Kai-chen was 4 years old, he saw live fish killed at the supermarket and was extremely sad. After that, we decided to go meatless.
I saw a couple of tanks full of fish, and there were people requesting for a particular fish to be catched. And when the butcher was trying to catch the fish, all of the fish in the tank were actually panicking and swimming all around. And when the butcher got the fish, he washed it and slammed it really hardly on the table and started chopping it up. And the way he chopped it up really scared me and also shocked me. It made me sad too. So after that, I never wanted to eat meat.
At first, we just followed what my son wants.
You get all the red ones out here.
I thought that my son would return to his normal diet after a while. However, surprisingly, he was determined to continue being a vegetarian.
I think that being a vegetarian is something that can help the world. A vegetarian is more of a mission than a diet, because I know many people who respect animals' lives because they have animals themselves. It's kind of hard to cook a vegetarian dish while also cooking a meat dish because it's also more work for my mom. So our whole family decided to just become a vegetarian. I like vegetarian dishes in general because it doesn't have the smell of meat and it also doesn't have the texture of animal byproducts.
After a while, I realized that going meatless is very good for our bodies. I feel more energetic and don't feel drowsy after eating anymore.
Being a vegetarian is healthier for me. I feel a lot better.
I think going vegetarian has had a positive impact on my family and I.
厦门慈济 volunteer Lin Hui-zhen began undergoing volunteer training in 2008 after hearing the Master's message, "With one bow, we can save the world." Since that day, Lin has dedicated herself to the practice of recycling and has found joy and health to be her rewards.
Others use this cart to carry vegetables. For Lin Hui-zhen, however, it is for recyclables. This is Xiamen Tzu Chi volunteer Lin Hui-zhen. Over the past 7 years, she has gathered over 30 people to join her on the path of recycling. Whether on foot or in cars, these volunteers can be seen everywhere, collecting paper and cardboard.
Before, we had only 3 people to load the truck and tie up the boxes.
Next, the volunteers drive back to their local recycling point, where everyone comes together to divide up the catch for the day.
It's like the Master said, starting is easy, continuing is hard. So I constantly emphasize the importance of seizing and living in the moment.
Under the steady hand of Lin Hui-zhen, volunteers not only find joy in recycling, but learn how to draw inspiration from the Master's teachings, so as to remain firm on the Bodhisattva path.
70-year-old recycling volunteer Li Yuemei from Malacca, Malaysia, goes out to collect recyclables each day on behalf of Tzu Chi. The senior does so not only as a way to keep sickness at bay, but also as a way to keep the planet clean for future generations.
As 70-year-old Li Yuemei steps out her door, she is on full alert, ready to collect any recyclables she sees, much like she has been doing for the last 10 years.
Once a student opened his wallet and took out a few coins to give me. I told him, no, I don't scavenge for a living. I'm collecting recyclables for a charity organization to help the needy and poor.
Each month at a recycling point near Li Yuemei's home, there are piles of recyclables to be sorted. thanks to the seniors' daily effort.
它就是可以几乎说每一天都在做环保。
She's doing this for the planet. By recycling, she can leave the earth a much cleaner place for the next generation.
Although Lee doesn't live on the first floor, she maximizes the spaces available to her to temporarily store her recyclables.
Things that I can reuse, I collect. This way, it's not turned into garbage. The money made from selling the recyclables can be given to help others.
For as long as I've known her, she's been recycling for Tzu Chi. She asked us to give her our unwanted items. There is more at the end of the year. We give it all to her.
Li Yuemei continues to collect recyclables wherever she goes, not only to keep healthy, but in hopes of leaving the planet a cleaner place for the next generation.
World Marrow Donor Day took place on September 19th, raising awareness among the public about being a stem cell donor and the impact of stem cell transplants on patients' lives. Alongside this effort, Tzu Chi volunteers in Taiwan held stem cell registry drives in the Greater Taipei area and Hsinchu City, where many stem cell donors shared their journey of saving a life.
Tzu Chi volunteers take to the streets in Banqiao to recruit potential stem cell donors.
After the controversy surrounding Tzu Chi, we had a hard time promoting stem cell donation, so we were worried about the patients.
In spite of the obstacles, volunteers continue to do what is right in an effort to help those with blood-related diseases.
Leukemia patients are innocent, so we cannot give up. On the contrary, we must work harder.
On World Marrow Donor Day, more than 300 people came to the Tzu Chi Banqiao grounds to sign up as potential donors.
Now that I have a child, I have a deeper understanding of the importance of life. I also hope that I may have the chance to help others and dedicate the merit to my child.
I can save a life without harming myself. Why would I say no?
Many stem cell donors were also at the drive to share stories of their journey.
I feel that my body is fine after I made the donation. In addition, my metabolism has improved and I feel younger, really.
I find my condition to be the same after the donation. In fact, I feel even happier and healthier.
At another stem cell registry drive held at the Wanhua Jingsi Hall, stem cell transplant recipients share their life stories.
The Tzu Chi Stem Cell Center saved my life, so I feel that I am a Tzu Chi child. Therefore, I come to owe these stem cell registry drives.
As I share my experience, maybe I can influence others. They can, in turn, recruit more people who will give patients a second chance at life.
Another potential donor was Wen Hong Wen, who came to Taiwan to pursue a PhD degree. Since one of her friends was saved by stem cell transplant, she hopes she can one day also do her part.
If I donate my bone marrow, I can save a life.
As the volunteers promote stem cell donations, not only are they increasing the chance of saving lives, they are also creating a ripple of love in society. Meanwhile, volunteers in Hsinchu also held a stem cell registry drive at Hsinchu East Gate. Among the potential donors, Ms. Hong from Jingmen came to sign up with her sister.
I might not be a match for patients, but if I am, I can help someone in need get a second chance at life. I think this is a very meaningful event.
Many youngsters stop and listen, driven by their willingness to save lives.
Maybe this is a match. We spent 30 minutes here, but we could be saving someone's entire life. First of all, we can save people. Secondly, with adequate medical resources, donors do not have to worry much.
Zhang Shanglang signed up as a potential donor 20 years ago when he was serving in the army. 2 years ago, he successfully saved a patient's life, so he knows the joy that comes from saving lives.
When Tzu Chi promotes something, they take care of the details, so you do not have to worry. Everything will be taken care of.
As people become aware of the importance of stem cell donations, more people are making the commitment to help save a life.
All children deserve the chance to have an education, as education is the most basic insurance against poverty. With this in mind, Tzu Chi volunteers in Malaysia have been offering scholarships to diligent students from poor families to safeguard their future. In mid-August, the Tzu Chi Johor Bahru branch organized a scholarship awards ceremony for 216 underprivileged yet promising students. Members of the Tzu Xiao and Tzu Yo class come together to perform sign language at a New Shoot Scholarship Awards ceremony here in Johor Bahru. During the event, volunteers also introduced Tzu Chi's instant rice to participants, highlighting its usefulness during times of disaster. As volunteers handed out scholarships to the some 200 plus students, what was going through the parents' minds?
I will make sure to spend this money on my children's tuition, or in the case of emergencies, this money will come in handy and I will be able to spend it on my 3 children.
I make sure to donate 1 ringgit or at least 50 cents into my coin bank every month. Tzu Chi is a very loving, kind, and inspiring organization.
Of the 269 parents present, more than half were willing to join Tzu Chi's ranks and pay the love forward, as they know every act of kindness can bring a sense of richness and fulfillment to their lives. In the United States, the Tzu Chi Academy in northern New Jersey began its new semester and welcomed the return of new and old students. Some newcomers who were not Chinese came to learn Mandarin, as well as the humanitarian values Tzu Chi teaches.
It's the beginning of a new school year here at the Tzu Chi Academy in northern New Jersey.
Why do you want to come to Chinese school on Sunday?
Because I want to learn more Chinese so that I can go to China one day.
I want to learn Chinese, and when I learn Chinese, I want to go to Hong Kong, Taiwan, and China.
Though sacrificing their Sundays to go to school, the students not only get to learn another language, but also lessons parents feel are well worth the effort.
I wanted to be sure I find a place that is open and will embrace my girls and will be welcoming to them. And of course, my primary wish was for them to learn Mandarin.
My daughter and my son, they both love it. They have uniforms. That was different. So it's more disciplined. So far, great. We love it.
Language is a way people communicate with one another, and treating others with respect is a way to communicate your upbringing. Helping to convey that message is the Tzu Chi Academy in northern New Jersey, which is quickly gaining a reputation for its humanistic teachings, as well as its open enrollment, giving a chance to all those willing to try.
The 2015 annual TEMA convention will kick off at the Hualien Jingsi Hall today. As many TEMA members from across the globe arrived in Taiwan earlier this week, they took the opportunity to visit the Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital on Friday. We leave you with these images. On behalf of our team here at Daai TV, happy Mid-Autumn Festival.